Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find the content useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape or form. I just want to give this channel some love. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So today we're going to be talking about how to gain closure. The best way how to gain closure for yourself if a potential relationship didn't succeed, shall I say. So how do you gain closure if a potential relationship didn't work out? In a moment, we'll be discussing that. But first, if you didn't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this awesome Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity book. I'm also the founder of asexuals.com, Asexualized Academy, and the author of this awesome fibromyalgia self-help handbook, How to Manage Fibromyalgia to Have Less Pain, More Energy, and Feel Happier Like a Superhero Rock Star. Let's get on with the show. So, how do you approach getting over a potential relationship? You need closure. You know, one of the main reasons that we can't get over a potential relationship is because we never had closure. And what I mean by this is there'll be people that come into our lives, and when we're having a conversation with them, it seems like we get on so well with them. You know, the conversation is flowing, we have things in common, there's a mutual appreciation and respect on either side, and things are just going really well. You know, you're vibing with that person, maybe you're spending hours text messaging them, everything is going so well. And then you leave that conversation, and you leave that conversation a good way. You know, you expect to speak to them probably the next day, maybe they're going to message you, you expect that they're going to want to talk to you as much as they did before, you expect that, you know, things are just going to get better, and you know, you're going to become better friends, better communicators, and things are just going to go really, really well, right? And we know that isn't always the case. We know that is very wrong in a lot of cases. So what happens with this, right? What happens? What actually happens? Why do some people just not end up speaking to you again? Or when they do, it's very little, very infrequently. What happens in that time? Well, usually when you're talking to each other, you get like this buzz of excitement, and you kind of get the adrenaline flowing, and maybe especially in the scenario at the moment that's going in the world, you know, you're more cut off, more isolated, and kind of human connection has become even more ever increasingly important. So maybe if you haven't heard from someone in a while, or you can't see your family as much and your friends as much, you know, any type of connection with someone, whoever it is, whether it's you or them, that can be heightened by the pure simple fact you're not getting as much communication and contact with people as you usually would. So this heightens your need, want, and desire for that thing, regardless of who you're actually talking to. So that's the first point I want to make. Secondly is like the excitement thing again. It's an excitement factor. Everything's new, everything's fresh, you know, you're just getting on so well, and there's that chemistry there. You can have online chemistry. Some people don't believe you can fall in love by text message or online stuff. Of course you can. There are thousands of relationships that start online every single day. There's people who get married from starting relationships online. There's a lot of people that get divorced as well. So you have to take that into account, you know. But like any kind of scenario where it's new, it's fresh and exciting, there's kind of this real buzz, you know, going on, and you just feel wonderful in that moment, right? And you can appreciate that moment for what it is, but you expect, you know, with the way you're getting on so well, you kind of expect this person to like be telling the truth, that they're keen on you, that they like things about you, that they're interested in you. And maybe they are, maybe that's their truth in the moment. But maybe, just maybe, when you've both had chance to calm down on the initial asexual chemistry, as it were, if it's an asexual you're talking to, then maybe, just maybe, you know, that you have time to reflect. You finish your conversation, and there's a lot to take in when you first meet someone, especially if you're anything like me, who does, you know, like converse a lot with the person. I mean, I often end up messaging new potential relationship people If I'm having an ongoing message, it can be a few hours, and it's an incredible experience, but it's also like very intense. And it means that both of you, when the conversation ends, have time to then reflect, like in the next 24, 48 hours, of what really went on. Are you really that compatible, right? So there was a scenario recently. Well, there's been a lot of scenarios. As you know, I always like to share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in your own. So there's been 3 different Indian guys I've been interested in over the last few weeks. One of them lived still in India and blocked me. I'm not sure he was penetration repulsed sexual rather than an actual asexual person. But anyway, I wish him a lot of love, a lot of luck, and hope that everything is great for him in his career, And then I met the second asexual guy. He lives in Canada. Now, he is really beautiful personality, beautiful soul. I could straight away feel that. We had a connection. But as you know, as I'm a hyper romantic, and I'm not into moving, and he wants to stay in his country, then that was going to be no good relationship wise, right? And as a hyper romantic, it can hurt me and cause me pain if I keep friends with some Indian guys that I have immediate strong feelings for, right? He was one of those people, because I don't experience any platonic attraction, which is quite rare with asexuals. I jump straight from not knowing someone, having some conversation, to feelings for someone. Sometimes it's a little bit of feelings, and sometimes it's whoa in my face, where did that come from feeling. And that was one of those in your face type things. I have actually messaged the guy today to tell him, just in case he thought it was something. I think he understood from my last message. I said I'm a hyper romantic and I don't experience platonic attraction. So I think, and I was trying to hint, but I came out and I have messaged him to fully explain that it is me, that that he's done nothing wrong, that it is actually me, that I'm hyper romantic, and it's too painful sometimes to keep in contact with someone like that when I have strong feelings for them. Thiola, hello Thiola, lots of love to you. So that was the second Indian guy. I think he was beautiful. I think if he was over in this country it might have been different, but he's a smoker anyway, and I don't actually want a smoker, so that wouldn't have worked out anyway. But he would have been a nice guy to be friends with in some ways, but it's not any good. So Thiola, what happened? I'm going to explain all in a minute, Thiola. So first of all, I'm explaining about the 3 different Indian guys that have been in my life over the last few weeks. One was, I explained, was in his country, and he blocked me. And I've done this in previous videos, so I don't want to go into it in massive detail, but I think he was a penetration repulsed heterosexual rather than actual asexual. But like I said, I wish him lots of love and luck, and whenever someone blocks you, they do you a favor, because they basically cross themselves on the list of being a potential for you, so they don't have to keep thinking what if all the time. So he actually did me a favor. I did a video about that. Then I had a really lovely Indian guy who lives in Canada, but he doesn't want to move, so he wants to get a relationship out in his country. And we really hit off in the beginning, and he didn't do anything wrong. He was a beautiful guy, still is a beautiful guy, a lovely personality from what I talked to him. But because I'm hyper romantic, it doesn't experience any any platonic attraction, but I only experience romantic attraction. I had to not talk to him, like kind of stop talking to him, because it's just too painful for me to keep in touch with someone who I've got really strong feelings for very quickly. And then the recent one was the third Indian guy who is in the UK. And Thiola, I block all the guys as they ignore me. Yeah, just block them. You don't need them. Rubbish. This is what I'm going to come on to anyway, about closure as well. It's very important. So the third guy, he lives in the UK, right? And we talked, and he was the one who originally said that he is sometimes asexual, which I didn't know what he meant by that. I presumed he's on the more grey end of the spectrum. So we had this conversation, and we got on very, very well in the initial few hours that we messaged. He lived in the UK, he's got his own job, doesn't want sex, doesn't want marriage, doesn't want kids. There's never any of that complication. And he had some interesting hobbies. he said he liked this channel, so I thought that was a really good thing, and like the videos I did, and he had a good job and everything like that. But yeah, so I did, yes, Viola, he was Indian. I'm talking about all 3 Indian guys now that have been interested in me. I've been interested in them in the recent weeks, so we're on the 3rd one now, the 3rd and final one today, which is what I wanted to talk about mostly today. So he was in the UK, and like I said, we were talking, and then, you know, I from the conversation, the way it was left when I'd initially finished talking to him, it was like that we got on so well, he was looking forward to hearing from me again, right? But I said a lot. He did ask me, you know, what is my ideal relationship and dream guy, basically. So I told him everything. And I thought, if he's not interested, he's going to run away now, right? But he didn't. He carried on talking to me for quite some time afterwards, right? Because I think, you know, if you blurt everything out, if they're too scared at the beginning, they're not going to last 5 minutes. But he did carry on talking to me, actually, right? And but he was telling me about himself, and then I realised by the end of the conversation that I was actually nervous about potential relationship with him. But he said that we could only be friends anyway, because he couldn't be in a relationship with someone who wasn't friends with first, get to know. So I thought this was a good thing. I thought that's fine, because I totally agree. And yeah, and then basically it happened, whereas nothing much happened. So the next day he messaged me and asked me how my day was. So I thought that was really, really nice, good sign. And I was really busy that day, you know, really, really busy. I'd been out shopping for hours. Viola knows that because she's friends with me on Facebook now. And literally I had to eat food, put all my shopping away, eat food, you know, do my stream, Skype my best friend. So all that was going on there. I haven't had much rest this week. It's been very hectic and continues to be a hectic week. And so, you know, and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, like, he went from like being really interested to just being, all right, cheers. Right? That is when someone says cheers in the UK, if you don't live in the UK, it's a very impersonal thing you say when you're in a pub, when you're at a bar, right? If you were a pub owner, you know, like somewhere that sells alcohol, I don't know what it is like in your country, what the name is, but if it's called a pub, you know, somewhere that sells alcohol, a bar, that type of thing, and someone said, you know, you give the barman, bar lady your money, and then you they you know, they say cheers, which is a very informal, impersonal way of saying thanks. But it's very, very like clinical and personal. You don't say that to a friend, to even someone you want to be friends with. It's like, I don't give a toss about you. I couldn't care less. You mean nothing to me type of language. Cheers. All right, mate, cheers. It's that type of language, right? So I knew, because I asked him how he was, and he said that he'd finished work for the day, the usual same day. Now, if you're new to being around someone or talking to someone, you don't know what their usual day is, right? And I told him my day because he said, how's your day been going? So I sent him some voice messages because I was really, really busy, which is nice of me. You know, I could have left it and not even bothered to respond. But I did. And then all I got back was basically, my day's the same as any Monday. And I'm like, well, what's that? So obviously, clearly, they didn't want to open up and talk to me. And then it's like, I'm having a drink, reacting, cheers, like. And it's like, right, is that all you've got to say? And then later on, I said, I said that I was Skyping my friend. They said, I'll leave you to it, basically. And I didn't hear from them after that. So I then knew that they weren't suitable for me, because there's no way that someone speaks to someone like that if they've got any interest in even being friends with them, let alone anything else. So I understood that person wasn't right for me, right? And I even knew after I'd finished messaging them, I had a lot of anxiety. Now, I do have relationship anxiety anyway, like, which happens in a potential relationship scenario, right? I told you about that video, my hands were shaking because no one really asked me that much, what does your dream guy and relationship look like, right? And it means that they're really interested in you if they say this type of thing, right? It's not something you usually ask someone. And I told him the truth, which I, you know, wanted to do. Everything spelled out, right? But I kind of knew in my heart of hearts when we discussed things that his grey areas are different to mine. You know, my grey area is kissing. I'm not going to go into his grey area. I keep that secret. I don't share people's secrets like that. It's not fair. So, you know, I'm actually not a textbook grey area. I don't experience any sexual attraction whatsoever. So, you know, so I actually was quite nervous afterwards, the conversation. So I guess I knew already instinctively that this guy wasn't the right guy for me. And sometimes I don't always listen as much as I should do to my intuition. But I feel that I send sometimes vibes out into the universe where things happen for me for a reason. So if I'm really, really having problems and struggling with the fact that if I was in a relationship with this person, I don't actually think they would be right for me, but I would like them to be, because the circumstances seem quite good as he is in the UK, doesn't want sex, marriage or kids, and likes living separately by the sound of it, or at least likes being in the same bed. You know, I kind of like, part of me wants it to be the right thing, but the other part knew it wasn't. I was very, very nervous. I even thought about messaging them the next day before he was asking how my day was. I even thought about messaging him saying that I didn't feel that it would be right for a potential relationship, and, you know, let him know that. But I didn't, because, you know, I kind of like, I should do. I need to get stronger. I need to be stronger, because the more strong I am for the wrong guys, the right guy will show up. And I need to be strong for every Indian guy that isn't right for me. You know, I don't want to just accept anyone just because they're in the UK, right? You know, you know, it's just not good for me. So I basically decided that, you know, as I hadn't heard from him, it was much better to just tell him the truth, you know. It was much better to just tell him the truth. And I knew that he didn't really like me in that way anymore. He obviously didn't even want to be friends. A lot of people, when they say, I want to be friends with you first, it really means they're interested in potential relationship, you know. And if they're not interested in that potential relationship anymore, they don't really want to be your friend. And so, yeah, so what happened is, you know, I hadn't heard from them. And so I decided today, I would say today, but now it's the next day. So I decided to tell them, you know, I sent them a message, because this is the best thing you can do to gain closure, right? This is the best thing you can do for yourself to gain closure in a unresolved potential relationship issue, right? Now, clearly that guy's giving off vibes that he's not interested in me when he's saying the word cheers, right? Not interested in me anymore, which can be a little letdown, but in a way it's a relief, because I know he's not the right guy for me. I really need a younger, cute, cuddly Indian guy who loves kissing as much as I do and wants the same type of relationship that I do. A more sweet, innocent, but lots of kissing, cuddling, lots of physical public displays of affection. I really need someone younger. I actually preferred him when I saw his younger pictures than how he looks now. Not that he looks bad now, just you know, I prefer younger guys. And so, you know, anyway, I basically said, I sent him a message saying that, you know, I'd had time to think about it, and I asked him how his week was, first of all, and then I said I'd had time to think about it, and I realised that we wouldn't be suitable to be together in a romantic relationship. We wouldn't be suitable for a potential romantic relationship, because I said, I can't remember my exact words I said, but basically I said that I need someone who will be more interested in my life. Let me see if I can. Obviously, I'm not going to read out. You know, I'm only going to read out stuff that is my bit. I don't, you know, say other people's secrets and stuff, you know. But I just thought it was a good message, so I wanted to let you know what I said. I said, hi, how is your week going? I did realise romantically we wouldn't be compatible, so I hope you find a girl for you, and I wish you the best of luck with that. I'm not going to read the next bit because it's private. But I said that I want someone who's very interested in me and my life. Take care. So, you know, he said, hey, it's going all right, thanks. I see, no problem. I appreciate your candor. I hope you find who you are looking for as well. Good day, take care. You know, And then I said, thank you very much. You can't meet the right person if you're hankering after the wrong one, right? Take care of you, and I hope you find someone who's suitable for you. And he said, cheers. You know, again, the same word, cheers. So clearly I said, cheers, exactly that. That's how I definitely knew you weren't the right for me. Even my friends don't speak to me that casually, but I appreciate the fact you took an interest in the beginning, and I hope you find a special girl for you. Everyone deserves a beautiful, special someone in their life who can be there forever, love. And he said, I wish you the best. And he already defriended me on Facebook, which is fine. I don't know if he did that before I even messaged him. He might have done. You know, so I wish him the best of luck. But you know, what it's best to do in order to have closure for yourself is to actually tell them, if you haven't heard from them, but you know, clearly they're not interested, you say to them that you're not right together. Because if you say we're not right to them and send them a message, you are basically letting them go. And therefore you've got your closure. Whereas if you kept leaving it for days, and you don't know whether they're maybe going to message you in like 5 days time randomly or something, and you're still friends on Facebook, then there's kind of not any closure. It's like, what happened? Wow, you know, we were talking, we get on really well, you know, we were really like hitting off, we had quite a lot in common, and that, you know, we had quite a lot in common, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's kind of like the opposite. So you know what you need to do. Obviously, if they blocked you already, you can't do this. But if they haven't blocked you and they're still just there in Messenger, you just send them a message and you say, I realise we're not suitable to be together, but I wish you well. I wish you a lot of love and luck. Therefore, it's a good thing because you have left on nice terms with that person. There's no hatred or anger. Maybe maybe there might be some of those emotions within you, but you know, that there's a way of letting them go which is better for you and better for them, and it gives you the power back. You have closure for yourself because you ended it categorically. Then there's no what if this person decides five like days from now that, you know, they want to come back in your life, or maybe 2 weeks time, you know what I mean? Whereas this finally cuts it off and it lets you get on with your life. So you can do this. If you want to block a person, you can go and say, I realize we're not suitable for a relationship, and then block them if that's easier for you, which some people find easier. And you know, sometimes I do, you know, if someone's not so good to me especially, then I just say, you know, like, you know, sometimes I might just block them if they're really bad, but otherwise I might just say, you know, like, you aren't suitable for me. You know what I mean? And block them then. So yeah, so you know, it's really, really important to keep being you, you know, and you know, speak your truth and don't let anyone change you, because there's only one of you and you're unique, and someone love you for who you are, you know, someone will really love you for who you are. Ciola, I don't know why I'm feeling like my other half in my room in the spirit. What does that mean? I don't know who it is, but I'm feeling him. Ciola. I mean, I'm spiritual, but I believe I have a soulmate. So I feel but I feel the guy's presence in my heart, because I don't actually want to see spirits or anything like that in my home. So I don't actually know if you're talking about a spirit as in a ghost, or if you're actually talking about other things. So I don't like seeing spirits as in ghosts or anything like that. I purposely don't go into that type of thing. But I believe I have a soulmate who I can feel in my heart and soul every day of my life. So that's kind of like different. So I'm not a specialist in spirits specifically like that, I don't think. What's asexual? Like a sexual person? Absolutely not. Asexual is absence of sexual attraction. So if someone's asexual together, it means that I lack sexual attraction. I don't like sex. So the A in asexual, so A with sexual put together, not asexual, two separate words, asexual put together, that means I am absence of sexual attraction. My sexual orientation is asexuality. This is a show for asexuals, a chat show for asexuals. And those who don't want sex, don't like it, don't need it, not interested in it, don't have to have it, can take it or leave it, but mostly we don't like it. Fiola, yes, I told someone I love them, but I said I want to block him because he don't want me like that. Yeah, you just block him. If he doesn't want you like that, just say it's not working out for me, so I need to go. That's it. Because at the end of the day, you can't be having these people in your life that aren't the right person for you a lot of the time, because you won't find the right one. You'll be thinking, what if with this other person? So this is how you let them go. Fiola, no, it's not a spirit. It's like in my heart. Well, it's probably a soulmate then, like a twin flame. Well, no, no one is attracted to me. I'm going to be single forever. Well, then you have to, if you believe that, then you have to ask yourself, how can you be more attractive and how can you actually improve yourself? Because no one's going to be attracted to someone if they say they're not attractive, because you're basically telling someone not to come near you. Do you see what I mean? If someone's saying, I'm not attractive, don't come near me, I'm not attractive, do you know what I mean? It's going to push people away that might find you attractive. So you need to grow yourself and confidence, self-esteem, and make changes where you're not happy with yourself before you even think about getting into a relationship. Self-love is the most important thing. And being single is not a bad thing. Yes, that's it, a twin flame, my twin flame. Well, apparently there's difference between twin flame and soulmates from what I've seen on some other actual more spiritual channels. Some people say that twin flames are really difficult to be with because you're too like each other and you fight too much, whereas a soulmate's actually better to be with sometimes. So I don't really separate the two. I mean, I usually talk about soulmate rather than a twin flame, but because I think when you're at a soulmate with someone, you're at one with them anyway, like as in two, if you want to say flames, two flames come together as one, if you know what I mean. So yeah. So I'm not sure if twin flame is a good thing or not. According to some channels, no. But according to other people, some people have their twin flame and they're so happy. I read something tonight about twin flame as well, and it was like something about, can twin flames come back to each other? Can they work out? And the person's like, well, because they're twin flame, they always come back to you. So yeah, but I don't know, I think more about soulmate, so yeah. So I personally just feel like I know I have an Indian soulmate, and I kind of roughly know what he looks like, what he feels like, how he is. I think he's in his early to mid 20s. I don't think he's much older than that, to be honest. And I think he's out there somewhere. Bless him. So, I like a more teenager style relationship. A lot of the older asexuals, they're just too old for me. Yes, you already have a soulmate. I know. I'm so lucky. I haven't met him yet, but I'm so lucky. But when I meet him, it's going to be wonderful. So, and the thing was, I was really proud of myself for being able to say to this Indian guy in the UK that he wasn't for me. That's very important, because I need to know, I need to be stronger. And this is what we all need to do, is practice being stronger, practice saying no to someone that you might kind of have a twinge of potential with. It's good. Yeah, Thiola, you too. Yeah. Practice makes perfect, right? Or nearer perfect. So it's really important we practice these skills, But like I said, closure. If the person's not giving you any closure, you give them it. Even if you want to do it before you block it, right? Because if you block someone and you kind of haven't actually told them you're going to block them, sometimes you need to do that. And other times you might just feel like actually they weren't that bad a person, but it's just not good for me. And you just say to them, look, I need to take care of myself. This isn't healthy for me. Like the other message I wrote to the other Indian guy, who's lovely, as far as I know. Let me see if I can get my phone out to say what I said. I've got my pajamas on as usual. I always wear my gym jams a lot of the time. So this is what I said to the other. I've had it on charge. So this is what I said to the other guy, who's a really nice guy, but he lives in Canada. I just said, I just wanted to let you know that the only reason I didn't continue to speak to you was that I'm a hyper romantic and I don't experience any platonic attraction. So I find it painful to just be friends with certain guys I have feelings for and too upsetting. I wish you to find a good girl and great friends for you in Canada. You know, because he was a nice guy. He's a really nice person as far as I know. He's very similar to me in relationship needs in quite a few ways. So that was kind of difficult, but you know, like, we're still friends on Facebook at the moment. I don't know if we'll keep this a friend on Facebook or not. So but you know, it's important that you have a abundance mindset, that you don't settle for second best, that you, if you know something's not right, you actually listen to your intuition. I mean, I knew when we'd finished talking, me and the guy, and the British guy, the guy's Indian in Britain, I should say, not the British guy. I knew afterwards that just we wouldn't be suitable in terms of relationships, some relationship needs, like, you know, because I, you know, am different type of asexual in some ways. So it would not be, I don't think, good for me, because I need to be with a younger guy who wants the same type of teenager style relationship that I do, to be honest. And I don't think I would have got anything like that really with him, you know. I really want someone who wants to go to theme parks, zoos and aquariums and kiss and cuddle when we're waiting for the rides and when we're going around looking at fish and stuff. Like with my ex, he wasn't asexual, but I used to do all those type of things. We always used to be kissing in between everywhere we went. Do you know what I mean? It was just something that was quite normal that I did, although I didn't like a lot of parts of the relationship. I loved that aspect. I've really enjoyed that part. You know, it was really nice. It's very romantic in that sense. So, you know, I want to find that with an asexual guy. I mean, you would have thought you could get that more with an asexual guy in some ways than you could a sexual, because, you know, like, sexuals usually always want sex, whereas if you're going around theme parks and zoos, I never did anything like sex in a theme park or zoo or aquarium. That's what I'm saying. I literally was just kissing and cuddling. Do you know what I mean? He might have been getting a bit handsy though sometimes with me. Certain places, I'm like, no, keep your hands off those places when we're like going around certain places. But the majority of time, you know, it was kissing and cuddling, and you know, I like that type of relationship, you know, and so I want that aspect again, you know. I think it's really, really nice. I think it adds magic to every day. I even like holding my guy's hand around the shop, round when we're doing shopping. Not that I've got a guy, the theory of it, like holding hands on the shopping trolley. It's not always possible, but it's quite cute, because otherwise I think I might as well just do this on my own. What's the difference between being in a relationship, going around a supermarket, and being in a relationship? To me, when I'm in a relationship, it's kind of like, it's going to be different. It should be different, because it's like magic. Do you know what I mean? It's like, bring the magic, bring the joy, bring the romance, bring the tingly for things. You know what I mean? And when I hold the guy's hand, I'm really aesthetically attracted to, and really got romantic feelings for. I feel like electric, you know? Just like holding their hand, my fingers intertwined with them, I feel very sensual. And very like, whoa, this is really, really nice, you know, and I feel really connected to them. Me holding hands is a symbol of the connection. I love that connected feeling of physically touching. I guess that's a sensual thing, not sexual, but sensual, where you feel like you need to touch in that way, in a good way. Fiola, I know most of the guys have lust and I hate it. He said he wants a beautiful, sexy girl. Yeah, I know he wants just sex with a woman. Yeah, you just block those type of people. You just say, well, there's plenty of beautiful, sexy girls out there. I wish you well in finding one. Good luck. That's what I say. That's what I say all the time. And if they say, well, you're sexy, I'm like, thank you, I know, but I don't want sex. So good luck. Go and find another girl for you. They don't expect you to say that. I hate that. Yeah, lust is very difficult to deal with, especially if you're asexual. I mean, obviously, some people who are sexual, highly sex driven, men and women, or whatever gender, they can quite enjoy that. You know, just getting stuck in there. Whereas I don't actually like it. I mean, I love lots of kissing, but it, you know, it can get a bit much if the guy is, you know, wanting it to lead on to other things. I don't want it to lead on to other things. Do you know what I mean? Oh, by the way, give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. It'd be nice. I like getting thumbs up. It helps the channel. And so, you know, I think it's good that you just block people. The more you block people, the more your self-esteem and self-confidence will go up. The more you say no to people, the more, even if you really like a guy, the more you say no to these guys, the more you block them, the more you can finish honestly with them. You know, you can speak your mind and speak your truth, the stronger you become as a person. Yes, they all think it's for their flesh and their pleasure. Exactly. You know, and I know that some sexuals just love that. I mean, but you know, you don't want it when you're asexual, because it's just like, that's not how we're built. We're not made like that. We don't think like that. We're not designed for that, you know. And it gets a bit much. Like, I have sexual behavior in the way I like to kiss, so I have more sexual behavior than a number of asexuals do. But the guys that are on the more sexual end of the asexual spectrum, I thought maybe I have more of a chance with them because of the sexual behavior, the kissing. But a lot of the time, they're just way too sexual for me. You know, they like clothes off. They don't mind being naked. I'm naked and repulsed, which is quite rare, I guess, for an asexual anyway. You know, and they like doing other stuff. And it's like, I'm just not interested in doing all that other stuff. Theola, they make me feel low as if I'm not enough. That's why you need to make sure that you raise your self-esteem and you say no to them. You need to learn to say no to them. Say no, be stronger with them. Because if you say no to them, you block them, or you just release them with love and kindness and saying, I wish you the best of luck, but I'm not interested. And if they persist, just block them. You know, that's fine. Go and get a good sexy girl for you. I hope you get lots of, if you like lots of sex, I hope you get someone that fulfills that for you, but it won't be me. You know, the more you practice the stuff, the better it is. Like, when I meet the Indian guy who's the right guy for me, I will know because I'm getting rid of all the ones that are wrong for me. Do you know what I mean? And this guy is going to shine out more, and I will shine out more to him. But I have to be in a strong place, because even if I meet the right Indian guy, I have to still be very strong in myself. I don't want to be a pushover, and I don't want to not have boundaries and be assertive, because however nice he is, me or him can still leave each other if the other one's not good to the other person, right? So we have to, Theola, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, you have to practice, you know, because when you let someone else go, you've got loads of guys after you. If you weren't attractive, you would not have 85 Moroccan guys messaging you. I'm guessing some of them are friends. If you've got that many specifically coming from that country, I guess someone says, oh, look, you know, go and chat to her. I think you'll find that they've got friends of friends that are doing that with you. So be very, very careful. You know, they might be playing games like that, you know. So, you know, but you wouldn't be getting message from all these people if you weren't attractive. It just wouldn't happen. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, the power is actually in your hands, not theirs. The power is in your hands to just say, no, you're not for me. Not interested. I'm looking for a sexy girl. Thank you. But I'm not interested in having sex with you. I'm not. I even stop people before what some guys just go, hello? And they message me, I'm not interested. I don't have sex. It's like, yes, that's it. Friends are friends. Exactly, Theola. So in some points they're attracted to you, in other ways they're playing a game with you. They're like, oh, she plays along, carry on, she continues the conversation, go and speak to her, maybe thanks for the thumbs up, maybe you can get her, because I can't. I've had guys playing games, just block them all, block all their friends, because they're 9 times out of 10 playing games with you. They want to, their thing is they want to conquer you. I've had people in the past, it's happened more than once, but particularly really bad once, where I had 2 foreign guys. I was actually in a relationship with them, not at the same time, but one after the other nearly. And it was really bad, because the second guy, who was friends with the first guy didn't get sex out of me. The second guy's like, oh, I'm the man now because I got what the other guy didn't get out of you. And he didn't get in a very good way either. And it was horrible, you know, absolutely horrible. So you have to understand that, no, I don't get messages, I get friend requests. Yeah, so you just decline the friend request, and you can go and block them as well. You know, you can decline the friends requests. I get loads of friends requests. 100% beef. I've recently come out, so I never dated another ace before. Oh, 100% beef. Well done for coming out. Proud of you. Proud of you. Oh, well done for coming out as asexual. That's really, really good. I'm really proud of you. I know it's difficult for some people to do that, but you've made a really, really good decision. And it's better to get these things out sooner rather than later. You know, really better to get out sooner rather than later. Yes, Cyril, that's very horrible. They compete to sexually do stuff to you. So it's not good. 100% B, thanks. I came out in April. Oh, it's my birthday in April, and I've still got birthday cards up. I tend to keep my birthday cards up for a year usually. And I've got a birthday banner still there near the cards. Oh, it's quite funny. But I just love birthday cards. I think if someone's bothered to buy the card and it's a beautiful card, why not leave it up till next birthday? And then every day's a birthday, really. So, I just think it's really, really good that you've come out. It's very, very important. And I started this video because I was saying that that the best thing to do is, like, to have closure of a potential relationship that, hasn't gone anywhere. The person's basically stopped talking to you, still got access to message them, then send them a message from you saying, this is not going to work out. I realize we're not suitable for a relationship, because you've ended it officially then. That gives you closure, that gives you completeness, that lets you have your personal power back. So you're not always wondering, what if this guy shows up again in my life? What if this guy begins to speak to me again? Or it doesn't have to be a guy. I'm saying guy because I'm only attracted to guys, right? It can be any gender, right? So it's very, very important you do that. It's a very powerful technique, to let them go. Some people say, oh, don't give them the time of day if they've not spoken to you. But sometimes it feels better for you to actually put the message in and you release them, even if they've already released you, even if they're not interested in a relationship with you because they haven't messaged you for days. Sometimes it's better just to actually plonk the message there. If you actually had any remote feelings for this person or a potential relationship, just put the message there and let them go, because you fully let them go. Now you've committed to yourself to saying this person is no good for you. So you're not hankering after the person. You're not thinking, what if? Because we all know that little thing in our brain that does, what if the person starts messaging in 3 weeks? What if the person starts messaging in 2 days? What if the person decides to message us in 2 months? What if I end up going to London and meet this guy at an asexual meetup, which could quite happen, because yes, it could quite happen. What if? But it doesn't matter, because I've told him now we're not suitable for each other. So it doesn't matter whatever happens. He's not my guy and I'm not his girl. So I can move on. 100% beef. It's hard being ace and trying to date someone that isn't. Yeah, it is very difficult being ace and trying to date someone that isn't. I mean, obviously when my Asexual Guide to Sex book comes out, which is something I'm going back to work on next Monday, I'm currently working on course launch stuff at the moment for 2 asexual meetup courses. So I'm busy with that this week. But when that comes out, it will literally put into perspective how many things we have to deal with when we're in a relationship with a sexual person who wants a sexual relationship with us. And it's good because the book has a variety of perspectives, from those asexuals that they've all had sex in the book, but for those asexuals who never want sex again in their life, don't like the idea of it whatsoever, it repulses them and they never doing it again, to those who are currently having it, those who did it and are indifferent, like they might have it again. So it's a very, very wide different perspectives in the book, but it shows you some of the challenges we have to go through, and I think that's very important to bring a book like that to market. There isn't anything ever been done for asexuals that's a guide to sex, because obviously it's very ironic, isn't it? But I think it's very important, because the majority of sexuals, they do want sex of some sort, even if you don't have intercourse, they want to do sexual acts. I've been on some dating sites and they're like, well, okay, I hear you don't want full intercourse, but would you prepare to do other stuff like mouth stuff, And some guys, I talk about guys because I'm attracted to guys only, they actually occasionally I've met the odd guy that says, oh, I actually prefer that stuff, you know, to the intercourse. But I'm not really into doing that anymore. It's not something I particularly want to do. Glad you are. Oh, bless you. You know, so thank you. So it's very, very important that you know, if you are dating a sexual person, you know what you're letting yourself in for, basically. That's why I needed the Asexual Guide to Sex book to do, because there's people who were going to be in relationships with sexuals and they don't know what the heck to do, you know? So I think it's very important. We need a book that's going to at least give us a great insight and depth into how different people who are asexual cope with being in a sexual relationship whilst definitely being asexual. There's all different people on the spectrum, though. So there is some grey A's and demisexuals, but there's also some people who are not. But I think it just gives so much insight. You know, it's got asexual sex stories, sex advice, sex help, and sex guidance. So it's all, you know, to do with helping asexuals. I'm sure it will help a lot of sexuals as well, indirectly, because, you know, a lot of them don't have a clue what they're really doing. A lot of them are ill-educated. There's so much ill education around sex and sexual things. Is, you know, there's so much glorification, but so much uninformation or misinformation, you know, and uneducated stuff. And I think that's part of the problem, you know. Really, we need to be getting through to sexuals on a global scale what asexuality is. I mean, I was already asked in chat tonight, like, what is asexual? Does it mean you're a sexual person? Oh yeah, I presume it does. It's like, no, it means I'm absence of sexual attraction. I lack sexual attraction. I'm not interested in sex. You know, the A stands for absence, basically. You know, and I think, you know, it's good if we can find another asexual person to be in a relationship with, but it just takes a lot longer the majority of the time, because, you know, there's not so many people that are out about being asexual, and the likelihood of you find the right person to be in a relationship with you in your immediate vicinity is highly unlikely. It's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely. A is a prefix that means without, I believe. A stands for absence. So yeah, basically absence of sexual attraction. A that's the same thing, isn't it? A means without, so you don't have sexual attraction. Absence of sexual attraction. I think we're talking about the same thing. Because without something means absent of it. It's the same thing. But I just say A is for absence because people can remember it like that, rather than saying without. But absence, being without something, is the same as something being absent. It's not there. It's the same thing. If you look it up in the dictionary in thesaurus, it's the same thing. But yeah, so that's the way I explain it to people, because, you know, and I say I'm hetero asexual rather than hetero sexual. So for some sexuals, they don't understand what asexuality is, and they don't know what heteromantic means. So if I'm in any dating groups that aren't for asexuals, I'll say I'm hetero asexual, not heterosexual, so they can understand. Sorry for talking about this stuff. I know you've got a live stream to do, but you're like the only one that understands ace in my life. Oh no, that's fine. It's fine to talk about that. It's really, really important. You're fine. You're fine to talk to me about things. And I think, you know, I think you're right about the without. I think the without and the without and absence are the same thing. So I think you're right as well. I think we're both right. It's just that I use the word absence because the A is easier to remember an absence. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm quite happy because obviously the live stream is chat as well. I've actually covered most of the stuff I was going to cover originally, and kind of like we end up talking a bit more about other things later on. So yeah, it's really, really important. Yeah, same meaning in the word. Yeah, it's just that when you're trying to explain asexuality to sexuals, they can remember a lot easier if they think about the A standing for absence. Same as like aromantic, a romantic, some people pronounce it, absence of romantic attraction. It's a lot easier to remember that way, because I think otherwise it gets so complicated. But I mean, a lot of sexuals, they honestly think asexual means you're a highly sexual person, because they don't understand why else there would be sexual in the word if they've never heard of asexuality before. You know, so it's very, very difficult for them to understand what asexual means unless they've actually heard someone explain it, and they've heard it quite a bit as well. It's very difficult for them to, if they just see the word, they'll be like, oh, that must be a highly sexual person. I must contact them. I get it loads in private messages. Because I'm known as the Asexual Entrepreneur, and that's what I put in my profile on Facebook. I get a lot of guys connect with me, and I'm not sure if they're connecting with me because of business or asexuality. But usually, if it's a sexual person who's never heard of asexuality, they're often connecting with me because they like sex. So they see Asexual Entrepreneur, and they're like, "Oh, that person must specialize in being a highly sexual entrepreneur. I must connect with them because I'm into entrepreneurship and I love sex." Like, no. Yeah, have you seen my t-shirt, Asexual Not Asexual? I've actually got that on one of my t-shirts. I do asexual merch on Redbubble and Amazon. I don't know, it might be on my asexualized.com site as well. I'm just trying to see if I can find it for you. That's awesome. I didn't know that. Thank you. The link to my merchandise shop is below if you want to check it out. I've got about 60 of my own designs. I've actually got a specific t-shirt saying I'm asexual, not asexual. I have it on Amazon, I think on the .com one as well. I'm not sure if I got it on the .co.uk. So this is like my t-shirt. So sorry, I've got on charge. This is like some of my designs on here. I got lots of different designs. And you go to the shop and it's got so much different. You can get coffee cups, and you can get stickers and duvet covers and dressers and hoodies and lots of different things. And you see this one? I've done our own asexual emojis. I designed them myself. Do you see that asexual emoji? So cool. Sorry, I know I say it's cool. Well, I'm not apologizing because it is cool. But where am I now? There's so many things open. I was gonna see if I can find the t-shirt about I'm asexual, not asexual. See if I've got it on here. I got so many different designs. Oh, that's the hoodie version of it. I found it. So I've got other emojis as well on here that I've created, asexual emojis, which are quite cute. This is the hoodie version of it. There we go. I'm asexual, not asexual. See? That's a hoodie. You can get t-shirts and stuff. 100% beef. It's scary being biromantic because I never dated a guy or kissed one, but I still have those feelings. I'm a recently came out, like I said, but I don't want to feel not valid just because I'm inexperienced there. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. You're biromantic, yeah? Never dated a guy or kissed one, but I still have those feelings. I recently came out. Like I said, I don't want to feel not valid just because I'm inexperienced. Most asexuals, though, aren't experienced. I mean, a lot of them aren't. Like, I'm experienced actually being in heterosexual relationships for over half my life. of all the things to be experienced about, but it's good because I can help people on this channel, and I do have to do things and bring a new brand out for sexuals to help asexuals, which is to do with being erogenous, because I'm kind of an erogenous girl, but I don't want sex. And so I'm going to be releasing that brand this year, which is going to be very difficult for me to do because I need to get asexuality more recognized on a global scale. I need to get sexuals to understand asexuality. And so I'm very, very, very nervous about that. But I have spoke about it on my channel, let all the viewers know. I mean that's true there too. That's like part of me that I gotta gain strength to ask someone if I feel that way for a guy. Yeah, you've really. I don't know what gender you are yourself, or if you identify as any gender, but yeah. I mean, if I mean, I've always liked guys. I'm not into females or any other gender. Well, I don't know. Like I say, not any other gender. I mean, I have been attracted to a couple of trans people. But oh, you're male. Oh, bless you. Yeah, so you have those things for guys as well. I love guys. Most of my asexual friends are into guys. One of my best friends, they are born guy, and they're into guys. They attracted to different genders, but their main one is guys. They have a preference for guys. And my bestest friend, they identify as non-binary. They're originally born male in body, and they are more into guys. So they have some attraction to some girls that look like guys, but they're more into guys. Beef, romantically, of course, Ace. Oh, bless you. Yes, exactly. You're romantically, of course, Ace. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I'm only into guys myself, but what I'm saying is it's perfectly normal if you are a guy and into guys as well as girls, because my friends are like that. I know more asexuals. Guys seem to be more interested in guys. I know you're interested in guys and girls though. But I'm just saying, if you were, because you've never dated a guy or kissed one, then if you did do that, it is okay. You are perfectly valid. Don't, there's a lot of people that I find, I go to the asexual dating sites and it's guys seeking guys seeking guy. And it's like a lot of the guys I get attracted to are after guys, not girls. It's just annoying for me. You grew up in a small town, laugh out loud. I actually grew up in the countryside predominantly. So it's more hard for this stuff. But I grew up in the countryside predominantly, but there was two gay guys that I used to know as a kid. They were a gay couple, lived together, had a dog. They've been together all their life. And as far as I know, they're still together, had a Labrador dog. And I was used to seeing two gay guys. It was normal, part of my childhood. I mean, there was only literally a little row of houses and a little lane with a few houses at the bottom. I mean, there must have been about, I don't know, 10 houses or something where I lived for most of my childhood, through to when I left home. So, yeah. Yeah, that is great. It is really good. It's really good that that was like that. It was more, what can I say? It took me a while to get used to, like, I have lesbian friends now, but it took me a while to get more used to seeing lesbians together, because I was more used to seeing guys together than females together. Um, so I think everything takes time to get used to. Since I've, had my asexual journey since I started it, I've got so much more used to different genders, different attractions, different things that I never ever knew about. It's like opens your whole mind up to like worlds that you never knew existed, or maybe you didn't even think you wanted to know existed, but you need to know they exist. That it was normalized like that. I live in oh yeah, it was great. It was normalized like that. I live in a conservative town, not to be political. It's hard to come out here. Yeah, I expect it is. It's harder for a lot of people, to be honest. But yeah, like you say, if it's living in a conservative town, my parents are quite conservative, but yet they were fine about the gay guys, which is nice, and they're fine about me being asexual. I mean, they haven't really got a choice, have they? But they are good. They were good about it, because it made them understand me more. Actually, was a better thing. It was one of the best things. I didn't even realize it was called coming out. To me, it wasn't a big deal like that. It was just like, I'm found out I was asexual. I think I'm asexual, basically. And my mum was like, by the second call, my parents were like, oh, it sounds like you. I just walked down the street, told them on the phone. Oh, by the way, I found out about this thing called asexuality. I think I am asexual because of this. I'm walking down the street, like where the shops are, openly talking like I do on the phone. So you know what I mean. I mean, a lot of people are cool about LGBTQIA plus community. Oh right, okay, that's good. That's really really good. More nowadays, yeah, yeah. I mean, the first person I talked to though, who was meant to be a friend of mine, she wasn't good about my asexuality. She was really like, oh come on, you're always talking about guys, you just haven't found the right person yet, all that rubbish. So that was more harder. And there was a gay guy, and he was, at the time, we were friends, and then it was really difficult between us because he didn't accept it. It took him a year to accept my asexuality, and he was very gay, but he was highly sexual gay guy. And it caused a lot of discomfort between me and him. I still get that a lot is still unknown a lot of the time. I still get that ace a lot. I still get that a lot. Ace is still unknown a lot of the time. Oh yeah, you still get the fact that asexuals not very well known about. Yeah, it's you know, I hope I can make more of an impact. I hope all the people that are coming out and got podcasts and you know, got asexual channels. I hope we all continue to make a difference in the world. You know, I think it's really brave what you've done coming out. I think the more people that come out, the better. I mean, by people saying, I mean, I respect that everyone's different. There are lots and lots of people that don't come out, but it's kind of like you're not helping the asexual actual, you know, like sexual orientation. It's not helping us being in the closet. Oh, 100% beef, I agree. Thank you. You know, it's not helping us, people not coming out. And I mean, I know it could be classed as a private thing, and I get that, but it doesn't help. We need all the help we can get to raise awareness of asexuality so that people don't get put into sexual situations that are really bad and unhealthy for them because the person is too afraid to say their truth because it's not seen as normal. But we're never going to get it more normal unless more people come out and normalize it, make it an everyday part of society, make it an everyday thing that more people know about. That's the only way we're going to combat all this kind of like, you know, like fight in getting our rights recognized. Do you know what I mean? It's very, very important. So anyone who can come out as asexual, however discomfort it might be at times, however uncomfortable, you are doing us a huge favor as a whole community. You know, and you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for every asexual out there, basically, everyone that needs a voice. You know, even if you don't tell us stat loads of people, just by telling a few people, it really, really helps. Obviously, if you tell lots of people, it helps more because it helps more people know about it. But, you know, if you all play a little part, it really does help. You know, it helps to spread awareness of asexuality because maybe you only tell 5 people, but maybe one of those 5 people or more tells their other 5 people friends and their 5 people friends, and then it gets spread like that. It's really, obviously, you want the right thing spread because, you know, like Chinese whispers can go on, and then, you know, it's just not, doesn't really bode well because, you know, the actual essence of what the truth is somewhat diminished. You wrote a couple of songs about it. Oh, that's really good. Oh, you're a rapper. I wonder if I've ever come across you. I know there's an asexual rapper in the USA who I'm friends with on Facebook, but I almost 100% sure you're not him. Oh, because his name's Josh, so I don't think you'd be him. But you know, he likes to call himself the asexual rapper, and he likes writing poetry and stuff. But like, he likes doing raps. Oh, you just deleted your Facebook. Oh, right, but you're not. Oh, you can't be him anyway then, because I think he's still on Facebook. He's very active on Facebook. That's a shame. But yeah, so so I don't think you are him, are you? I'm guessing you're not him. So I'm guessing you're not him. If you are him, let me know. But I don't think he would ever delete his Facebook. No, your real name's Billy. Ah, right, okay. Ah, okay. Yeah, I think it's great if you're a rapper and you wrote a couple of songs about asexuality. I think it's wonderful. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Really, really, really good. You know, the more people that we know, you know, the more people that raise awareness of asexuality, the better. I do actually like rap myself. It's quite good. I prefer it without some swearing in it though. But and that, you know, it depends what the swearing is. But you know, it gets a bit harsh on the ears. Some of that I prefer the no swearing versions of it majority of the time. But good for you. That is really, 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 really good. And you know, like the only way that we become experienced as individuals is actually putting ourselves in positions of where we gain experience. Because I get a lot of asexuals who are like, oh, well, I've never had a relationship before. I don't have any experience. But the only way we're going to get experience of having a relationship is actually putting ourselves in that position of having one. Do you know what I mean? 100% beef. I'm doing an EP, but I don't think my fans like it as much as I want to do it. About being ace. Oh, right. Oh, so are you quite big on YouTube then yourself? Have you got quite a few followers? You sound like you're doing really, really well. So yeah, you sound like you're doing well for yourself. I hope you know that you're enjoying life. That's the main thing, as well as coming out and helping the asexual community. I think it's something to be very, very proud of. And my intro got 3 likes. I have about 449 subs. I'm smallish. You're doing really well though. You know, I don't have like tons more than that. I have coming up to 700, I think it is. But you know, like I think often find that with smaller channels, we're a very close knit community in smaller channels. I mean, I regularly get people coming in chat on this chat show, you know, and I think it's nice to be niche and a bit different, you know. If we all do the same thing and we get like robots, I think it's nice to offer something different, you know. I mean, there's other asexual channels that get far more like subs than I do, or far more views than I do, but at the end of the day, you know, we can all make an impact in the world, and we've all got different personality types, and some people you know, feel better about viewing someone else and some, you know, other people do. For example, you know, my shows go on for a very long time. Some people just want 10-minute well edited cut and chop videos that kind of look more aesthetically kind of pleasing with their thumbnails or whatever, whereas I just like in my pajamas most of the time hanging out with you guys doing a chat show, guys and girls, whatever gender. When I say guys, I'm just referring to the general population. Oh yeah, I didn't notice you were close to my subs. Yeah, I'm coming up to, well, I've worked hard to get it to coming up to like 700. So but my channel, you know, like it's a acquired taste because it's not the usual asexual channel. I do a lot of personal professional development on here, but my community is very, very engaged. They're very, very, you know, into the stuff that I talk about, and I try and stream every day, which I've been, when I first started the channel I didn't, but since 2018 I try and stream every day, which is obviously a lot of content that I put out there. 100% beef. I'm just a rapper that happens to be ace. I rap about mental health mostly. That's probably why they didn't like the intro. Oh, bless you. Oh, that's really important. Yeah, I've got some. Oh, right. Sorry. I had some crashing going on. It's something that crashed, not to do with here, some app I had. I wonder what was flashing on my screen then. But I feel like I'm talking to a friend. Keep up the great job. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. And about my autism a lot. I actually get really attracted to guys with autism. I have to tell you, I don't know if you've ever watched any of my previous videos where I have covered autism in some of them. And I just get very attracted usually to guys with autism because I'm very like them in some of my character traits. Hey, haha, yeah. Most of my friends are like, I don't experience platonic attraction, so you have to understand something about me. I don't experience platonic attraction, so that means I have usually some attraction for my friends I'm really close to, and for guys I'm romantically or aesthetically attracted to that just come into my life. It's great you're a cartoon character because I can't even, you know, like your character, I can't see you. I can't see your picture, so it can't be aesthetically attracted. I don't actually get attracted to cartoon characters, even though I think some of them are quite cute. You know what I mean? I don't tend to get attracted. Like some asexuals get attracted to cartoon characters and things. And so I didn't experience any platonic attraction, right? So most of my friends actually have some autism. Wait, what's the difference? What between platonic attraction and being a hyperromantic or no platonic attraction? So so most asexuals experience some platonic attraction. So there'd usually be a stage that you have when you meet someone where you start to get to know them and like them as a friend. You start to get to like them and know them as a friend, and you wouldn't have any romantic feelings for them. You wouldn't think, oh, I want to be in a relationship now with you, right? That's not usually what most people think unless they're really romantic like myself. So I don't experience any platonic attraction. I experience about 7 different types of asexual attractions, but not platonic. I don't experience, and I don't obviously experience sexual attraction. So I have things like aesthetic attraction, emotional attraction, spiritual attraction, close attraction. You know, aesthetic, emotional, spiritual, close, intelligence attraction, creative attraction. I have a lot of different types of attractions. Sensual with the guy's upper body. I have about 7 different types of attractions. So, yeah, I don't get platonic attraction. It jumps straight to usually romantic, aesthetic, spiritual, one of the attractions. A lot of the time it's romantic and aesthetic go together. Not always, though. I didn't know there were so many attractions. Exactly. This is a different type of channel that I make sure I, like tell people a lot of different stuff that they didn't know. Because most people don't even know that. Most other asexuals that do other asexual channels don't even know that, I do really want to do a specific video one day. I might just do a short actual pre-done video where I just discuss the 7 different types of attractions quickly for people who don't know, to give them a quick summary. But there's more than that, but as far as I know, that's the main one. I'd like to see that video. Oh, brilliant. I'll have to do it. I can't do it at the moment. I've got too much work on for this week. I'll start back on my Asexual Guide to Sex book, but I'll have to do that video. I'm sure I can do it. Probably might be able to do it next month. I would have thought. Actually, it's Asexual Perspective Awareness Month next month, so I might have to try and fit it in at the end of this month. But I am literally, what's the date? Oh yeah, I'm literally I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I'm literally quite packed at the moment. So can't do anything right at the moment, but yeah, whenever, if you want. Yeah, okay. So it'll just be a short video, because I think people could do with knowing about that stuff, rather than it being in the middle of a huge long live stream. And so basically I don't have that platonic attraction, so it skips from meeting someone to having some romantic feelings usually. I don't like being pressured to do vids or raps either. Yeah, it's really weird, because like I usually try and do this channel if I can. I usually try and stream between 11 p.m. and midnight, but lately I can't do that because I've got so much work I'm doing, so I have to finish what I'm doing. And at the moment, I do have fibromyalgia, which I mentioned about in this book in the beginning. I've also got this book, if you didn't realise, that book as well, for asexuals. Right, and I manage my fibro really well, but I've literally been working like every single day. I've been doing some work for the last like quite a few days. And so I've been working a bit more than normal. And so like, and sorting other things out. And so it's like ongoing. So I get dizzy with low blood pressure and stuff if I get too stressed, even though I don't feel necessarily totally stressed sometimes, or I love what I'm doing. It can be stressful if I'm doing a lot of stuff together. So I have to cut myself some slack, So like tonight I had to eat later. Like after midnight, I was relaxing for a little bit because I was feeling dizzy, because I keep feeling dizzy more late. The more work I do, the more I tend to feel a bit dizzy, because it brings extra stress. So I've been doing my streams later at weird, crazy hours. But I always think it's best to try and do it if I can, than not do it at all, even if it isn't like exactly the same time. So that's really why I don't try and stick to a very set time, because I don't know what's going to be happening from one day to the next sometimes. Or I have a plan, but I know that certain times in my week or life, I'm going to be like doing that more. I mean, really, sometimes this week I felt like I should be just resting, because I've had to rest a lot before coming on here, because it takes a lot of energy to do this show, and so, when I'm using a lot of energy in the day and then I'm doing this as well, it does take a lot of energy. So, but I love doing these shows, I like to be here for you. So I think it's always better for me to come, even if it's a weird time, and try and do a show for you, than not do one at all. So that's why, like, when you're saying about when you're saying about pressure, that's why I try not to put too much pressure on myself about specific times I'm going to be streaming, because when I'm doing it every single day, you don't know what life's going to throw at you. You might not be able to stick to an exact time. So I like to say the majority of the time between 11 and midnight. But like if I'm Skyping my best friend or got a phone with one of my best friends, that's got to be done earlier, because, well, particularly one of them who likes to be called, they like to go to sleep earlier. And, and like lately, crazy times, I've had to finish videos, like training videos. I can't cut off from them, because if I cut off from them, then it means I spend more time doing something the next day on it and getting back into it, and it just doesn't work. I need to finish the whole thing. So so when you said you don't like being pressurized to do raps or videos or raps, I think it's very, very important that if you've got enough pressure in your life, that you don't put extra pressure on yourself, because as well, when we're more pressured, we're not enjoying things as much. It comes through on our videos. Like if we feel of course I do videos when sometimes I feel like I want to do it for you guys, but for me, I feel like, oh my goodness, I should just be resting a bit more. But I like to, I like to be around you. I like to be in the asexual community. I like to communicate. I know sometimes someone just needs a video sometimes, or to hear someone's voice saying I exist. You exist. You're really here. You're an asexual who does exist. You're perfectly valid. You're okay being you. You're here now. I'm here with you. because, you know, like sometimes asexuals are like they are like the magic unicorn, or they're like the rare dinosaur, or whatever you want to say. They're like some kind of rarity sometimes, and it's kind of hard when you if you're not so much part of asexual communities, like you can feel like kind of cut off and like, are there anyone out there like me? So it's kind of nice having someone regularly, I think, that pops up that you can actually talk to, even though it's through a screen. It's a lot more better than just having videos that are pre-done. You can actually see an asexual living their life and how they live it on a day-to-day basis, and trying to explain how asexuality works on an ongoing basis in the real world, you know, which that's what I like to do with this channel. I like to bring realness, and I like to show people how an asexual life works in practice, not just theory. I know a lot of other channels, which are great. It's wonderful to have loads of channels, and not a lot of other channels, they do a lot of theory. In theory, this is what this type of asexual does in theory. Whereas I am living and breathing asexuality every single day, which is what I do. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. So I hope it really does. 100% beef. I think I have ascetic and romantic shortly, because I crush easily. Then the crushes fade. Someone said I might be a certain type of romantic. I forget. Yeah, I live stream too. It's hard, but I enjoy it. It's 9 p.m. in USA, so no problem. Yeah, it's like 2 a.m. and 20 minutes at the moment, 2:20 in the UK. So yeah, I'll stay a little while longer, but I might have to go in a little while. But yeah, 100% beefy. I like to finish products. 100% beefy. I just deleted my Facebook, so I don't have the ace groups anymore, but this really helps me a lot more than any group. Thank you. Oh, I really appreciate that. I really, really do appreciate that. I'm glad you like this channel. I'm glad you find it helpful, because I like knowing that people find what I do helpful. That's why I keep the channel going, because like you said, you know, when you're a small channel, it kind of like, you know, sometimes it's like, is there anyone out there? But I know, like, for a while I've had a lot of consistent people that come in chat. Most nights I have someone come in chat. And I just think, you know, it's not always about the amount of people you have on your channel. It's just making the one difference in that one person's life at that one time. It might be just a video they needed to hear. It might be just a voice they needed for comfort, that there is another person out there who's asexual. Because if you are living in certain countries, you're very isolated from any other asexuals. And like you say, if you've given up Facebook groups, because, you know, that's where I am a lot of the time on Facebook, then it can be quite like, you know, insecure. It can make you feel a little bit insecure, a little bit like, you know, am I so alone? Is there anyone else out there? I can feel a bit like an alien. I used to feel like an alien before I knew it was asexual. Like, it's a, you know, a younger version of my birth certificate age. I'm younger anyway, because I don't like to talk about my birth certificate age, but I was younger in birth certificate age, rather than mindset and personality age like now. Then, you know, I used to feel like an alien just because I was so different. And I guess maybe asexuality probably played a part of that, but I didn't even realize it at the time, you know? So I kind of feel like that sometimes, like if you haven't got many asexuals to talk to online, and you've got no people who are asexual or really understand asexuality in offline real world, if you like, then it can feel like you're just kind of like, you know, speaking a foreign language, and they don't understand you, you don't understand them, like you're aliens to each other. I feel like an alien because of ACE, but also because of my autism, generalized anxiety disorder, and bipolar disorder. Oh, you didn't know, did you? I'm guessing that I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder level 4 years ago. I do talk about this in my fiber books. Yeah, so I've overcome a lot of it. I mean, I have reduced my anxiety a lot and manage it well, but I still have some anxiety. It won't, you know, it'll be with me for life. But yeah, years ago, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder level 4. I think it's level 5's the highest, I think. Oh, you was diagnosed in 4th grade when it's called something else. Ah, right, okay. I didn't know it was ever called anything else. So I was diagnosed quite a while ago. But I haven't got bipolar, and I'm not autistic. Glad you got the diagnosis you needed. Thank you. Yeah, well, it was good in a way to know that I had that, but then I knew I had to do something about it. So I spent a lot of time working on myself, finding ways to manage it. I don't try and get it out of my life. I like having some anxiety. It protects me. It's good for me in some ways. So anxiety is designed to protect you, but it can be very difficult at times. Like, because I'm into entrepreneurship, I'm into risking things in certain ways. I'm into doing things that are different and not the norm, and not the 9 to 5 job. you know, a lot of that is hard. I'm having to learn a lot of new skills, and the anxiety does play on your nerves, you know. Like, I have fibromyalgia anyway, which is a permanent unseen disability that affects the nerves and muscles of your body. When you add anxiety into mix, well, a lot of people with their fibro, they've got anxiety or depression. I freed myself of depression in 2012, so I don't have that. And that was before I knew I had fibro. That was the year I got diagnosed with fibro, which is the year I cured myself from depression because of my fibro. My fibromyalgia diagnosis cured my depression. And it didn't happen exactly like that. It was 6 months to come to terms with it, and I realised if I kept saying negative self-talk, I would end up on in a wheelchair or crutches like so many other people. So after about 6 months, I just stopped all the negativity that I'd been saying to myself in my life. It was just very strange, surreal experience, and I stopped being depressed that year. My life just kept getting better and better, and I got into personal and professional development. I actually began to like myself that year. So people can get out of depression. I didn't think I would be able to, because I had it since being a kid. That's a very, very long time, you know, but I did, you know. So I don't get depressed anymore, but I have to keep topping up with positivity. I have to keep my mind really positive as much as possible, consistently, persistently. It's like when you go to the gym and you've got a muscle that you have to like work regularly to keep it in order, you know, like it, or, you know, to keep in shape, you have to keep exercising. And that's like what it's like, you know, when you have to manage, you know, like not going back into depression again. And with anxiety, you know, I do a lot of things that ease my anxiety. I live alone on my own. Well, I live in the middle of a house, but on my own in a flat in the middle of a house. It sounds kind of strange, but I've got used to it because I've been here years. And because I live on my own, it's actually less anxiety inducing for me, because I can do what I want, when I want, go where I want, be by myself, have no one to actually directly answer to but myself. But obviously you do have anxious and worries then when you have to look after yourself financially, whereas other people have got partners and they can like take some of the burden of that, you know. And so I think it's just, you know, it can be, you know, having anxiety is difficult, especially if you are into entrepreneurship like I'm into, you know. It's not easy because there's a lot of stuff, like for example this year, that I've had to learn this very, very like in-depth stuff I've always needed to learn, but I've never pushed myself as much and as hard and learning so much in a short space of time that I ever have done in these last few months, you know. Like, I've just been learning so much stuff this year. In the last less than 6 months, I've just learned so much. I know sometimes I get overwhelmed. I mean, I've just finished a course online, intense video training series that I've been going through. And it's just really like trying to take it all in and learn new skills. I love learning stuff, but it's very, very hard. And when you have anxiety, and you kind of have to all the time, you have to push yourself through your own fears. So you have to create situations which make you anxious and go through those situations and be anxious in the moment and deal with your body reacting in that way, whilst actually trying to get through it, because you can't make any progress else. You know, when you have got that level of anxiety, you have to push yourself. You have to try and relieve as much anxiety as possible, do lots of things to relieve it, manage it well as pushing through it and actually putting yourself in situations that are going to freak you out and make you anxious. And then your body can kind of like do this like weird thing and start doing shaking and the weird stuff. 100% B. Glad you got the diagnosis. I used to be called general anxiety disorder, not generalized, I think. You got to treat yourself like your best friend and say nice things like you would a friend. Yeah, that's great. I feel you with anxiety and being an entrepreneur. I guess when you're doing your channel that you probably feel, are you in the entrepreneur type of world, are you? I thought you might be, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's like one of the worst combinations in terms of actually living a life. It's very difficult. People don't talk about this. They do not talk about anxiety and entrepreneurship. I just do this fun now. Oh, bless you. Yeah, so it is like, it's very, very hard. You know, people who've got anxiety and too much into it. Oh, bless you. People who've got anxiety and entrepreneurship, it's like, you know, you're basically pushing yourself to do completely different things that's not normal, and you get criticized for it, and you get put down, and you get like had to go out sometimes, and you get like people don't understand you, and it's like, why are you doing this? It's not normal. Like, and entrepreneurship. I mean, honestly, I've been learning entrepreneur stuff, online stuff since 2012. It's 2020 now. No one tells you like how difficult it is 8 years later, and I'm still learning new skills for it. You never stop learning, but it's really a lot to learn. It's part of being a leader too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I am a leader rather than follower though. I've always been a leader rather than a follower. I mean, I have done management before, even though I had depression most of the time when I was a manager. I've managed groups, but I prefer working on my own a lot of the time as well. But 4 people, like on this channel, like working solo, but 4 people. But I have some really good friends, like my bestest friend. They were helping me with my work the other day, which was incredible because they're not in the entrepreneur world themselves. And they were really helping me out, which was helping me with a payment processor thing I need to add to my Asexualized Academy so people can buy my 2 new courses that are coming up, my Asexual Meetup courses. So because I know there's some people who do want to buy them. Obviously not every asexual does, but there's a few people that do like actually buying specialist courses made for them. So I got a free asexuality basics for beginners course already on my Asexualized Academy, because obviously as a free course I hadn't needed to take any payments through there. So but I got PayPal connected to it, but not a merchant that can process cards. But now I've got that linked to it, so people can start actually buying it. Anyway, I got to go. Thanks for talking with me tonight. You're very, very welcome. I'm going to end the stream now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And I always say a lot of love to the people in the stream. So 100% beef, lots of love. And I didn't tell you why I like autistic guys. Just to let you know, I think you know that autistic guys are very productive. I love the fact they've got great enthusiasm for different projects. I love their energy. I love being direct. Get some sleep now. I love being direct. So when I get on well with autistic guys, it's usually because I can connect emotionally with them. Apparently it's very rare. And also I love the fact I'm always talking direct all the time. So a lot of autistic guys I get on really, really well with, because they like someone who talks directly without ambiguity. So, and you're usually very full of energy, really intelligent, really good at other things, really good at projects. So yeah, because obviously I've got asexual friends that are great like that as well. Amazing. So lots of love. Yeah, I don't like small talk. It's an autism thing. Yeah. My bestest friend, they're on the autistic spectrum, and they prefer my channel because it's longer than someone who does really short videos. They can't be dealing with just short videos because there's kind of not much context to them. And they also like the way I lay out my books, because they get all my books because I do them in short chapters. So every person like this, it's written out in very easy to understand interview format. And every chapter in my Asexual Perspectives book is written like in short, snappy chapters, and every person who's in the book's got their own chapter. So it makes it really easy to read, and that's what they said they really like about my books, because from someone who's autistic, they find it hard to read long texts, without having a break and without context and stuff. Like my fibre book, that has longer, but it's split into very like bullet points. It's split into just like different types of chapters. You can't really see it very much here, but it's like got like lots of different chapters, which like this is one chapter. So it's got all these type of things, and it's got summary, so that's like a small chapter. It's only a few pages long, and key points to remember is quite long, as well as the text really sometimes. But how to overcome depression. It's got about anxiety in here, like how to reduce your anxiety, all the techniques I use. If you did want to get or just look at any of these books, they are on Amazon when you want to. Both of them, both of them. But that one helps to reduce anxiety and overcome depression, so it is good. So yeah, they're very easy to understand. So anyway, thank you very much for 100% beef being in the chat. I never seen you get thumbs down. Well, I shouldn't get thumbs down, Eddie. I'm awesome. I'm only joking. Well, yeah, I'm awesome. I should say I'm awesome. Who is this a hole? I'm about to go now, Eddie. I've done my stream. I was just about to go. But yeah, no, this channel deserves thumbs up, because the more thumbs up I get, the more people will pay attention to asexual stuff, the more people will see asexual videos, and the more we can actually raise awareness of asexuality. So you know, I think it's worth having thumbs up. Really, really important. So 100% beef, give me a sec. So I presume you were asking about who is the a-hole, as in who's a bad person. I just said that basically the way you, to conclude this video, in case you didn't see any of it, basically the way that you actually let go of someone, oh, thanks for the thumbs up, the way you let go of someone is it's fought up, Eddie. It should be fought up. There's no reason for them to be any, unless you decide you want to do anything on 5 up. Anyway, so so basically, to conclude this video, in case you didn't watch the beginning, the best way to actually let someone go from your life, you know, a potential relationship, and get closure, is to literally, you know, send them a message and say, I don't, you know, I've realized that you're not for me, but I wish you well, a lot of love, success and happiness, or whatever you want to say, and let them be on the way. But then you've given closure, rather than waiting for days, weeks, months, or whatever, them contact you back and you don't know what happened because they kind of was really talkative and then they weren't to you. All you need to do is literally send them a message for your own benefit, not theirs, for your own benefit, and just say, you know, I realize that we're not suitable to be together in a relationship or potential relationship, and I wish you well in the future and take care of you, basically. Beef, under my other account, sub to you with the other ones too, I did, and I'm with this main account. Oh, 100% beef, thank you. That's really, really sweet. Thank you so much. Use my other account, sub to you with the other ones too. I did, and I'm with this main account. Oh, thank you. I don't know what your other account names are, so you'll have to let me know when you're on if you're under different account names. But I really appreciate the support. I really, really do. It's really, really kind of you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you love the channel so much. It means basically whenever, if you've got the bell icon pressed, it means each time, it means you'll get notified of every time I go live, so that you'll see comical comedy and ToonTube. Ah, right, okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. I'll look out for those. I got the bell. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So whenever you're on YouTube, I should flash up with notification of yeah, I'm on live now. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I've been streaming for an hour and a half, and I've got to get up and do work later on. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much, Viola. Lots of love to you because I know you're on earlier. Thanks to everyone else who was on earlier. Thanks to 100% Beef, and thanks to Eddie who was late at the party, but thank you anyway for showing up. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon. Don't forget, if you're new to this channel, subscribe using the button below and hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live. Right now, I'll post a new video. Take care, lots of love. Thank you for all the conversation. I know 100% Beef, you've been talking to me for ages, and Viola was as well. And good night, Eddie. Take care. Night, everyone, or morning, wherever you are. I'm in the middle of the night. Morning. Have a good day. Lots of love. Bye. Bye. Embrace your cracking on each other's. Bye bye.